Hi, welcome back. I recorded a video around 3-4 weeks ago about my web design stuff that I was totally overwhelmed and I had to stop for a while and rethink everything. I had my 2 weeks break. What I decided to do is I will continue with the web design. I have learned it over the last 8 months. I've put so much energy and time into learning web design and figuring out all the different platforms and which one works for me the best. Put in plus and minus next to each other, like writing steps down and thinking of what's best, what's not good, what's the good and bad, positives and negatives about going on and not going on. The positives outweigh the negatives. So I'm continuing with web design, and you will see some videos popping up soon as well about my process and my 1 week web design and what I do and behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to do a bit more about that, so you guys get to know what I'm actually doing behind the scenes and not just see screenshots of websites that I put on Instagram. I didn't set goals. I hate setting goals because if they're not working out, then you're just being too hard on yourself if it doesn't work out. So I am not doing goals and just see and work from week to week. That's what I'm doing this year, week to week. No long-term plans or anything, no set like dates on what I want to do. I have something in mind that I want to work towards to, which is a very big thing for me. I want to see my mom. I have not seen my mom since 5 years, ongoing 5 years now, and it's tough. It's tough to not have at least the option to go and see her. And with all that stuff going on with the money situation and with the web design and everything, it is just crazy tough to not see your parents in that stage. So I do phone her and we have contact with messages and everything, but it would be nice to see her in real life again, as people say these days. In real life. I have not seen her in real life. So that's something I definitely work towards to this year. I don't know when it's gonna be, when I'm gonna have the funds to go see her, but this is one of the big things that I'm looking forward to, that I want to achieve this year. There is no budget involved of like, oh, how much money I want to make and blah blah blah. That's this big thing that I'm having this year, nothing else. I have started to post on LinkedIn. Never posted on LinkedIn. It's just a new way for me to connect, as Facebook is just horrible for me. I just don't want to do it. So I needed to have another way of looking at businesses or communicating with businesses instead, or together with Instagram. LinkedIn is going to be the go-to for connecting with businesses, and keep on doing YouTube videos to connect with you guys and show you some behind the scenes of what I'm doing with the websites. If you haven't watched my last 3 videos, the heater was broken in the coldest week of the year. Like the first week that we had in January, it was absolutely freezing cold. I had the unfortunate situation I didn't maintain that heater and it broke down. Literally we had to wait a week to get the spare parts because there was a mix-up, because the first company sent me a broken one, and then I had to order another one, and that came another 3 days later because I could not get 24-hour shipping. It was just bonkers. At the end we made it work, and the heater now works. I didn't switch it on now because it would be just too noisy. You wouldn't be able to hear me because I'm gonna blast it on the highest setting because it's getting quite chilly. It's about 8 degrees. But yeah, it's definitely working absolutely smooth now since we cleaned that out and replaced the parts that were clogged up. That heating is finally back and everything's just back to normal, and I'm not sitting in frosty 3 degrees here because we're getting chilly days again. It's not as crazy as we had this last week, but yeah, it is getting a bit chilly. I have a log burner, and a few people seen this and say, why don't you switch that log burner on? And some people did not see the video where I was explaining on why I'm not using it anymore. It is 24/7 maintenance, so that thing heats around, I would say, up to just this area of the room. Just up here, the bed will be cold, believe it or not, will be cold up there. and it's just gonna be, it just heats it up to here roughly. The rest of the room is going to be super freezing cold. And as I said, it needs maintenance. It has logs in there. You can't put coal in there or anything that could burn through the night. We would have to stop feeding these logs before we go to bed and let it go cool down and go off. And then we would be freezing cold during the night anyway. So that's the reason why we have not used it. It's just you have to watch it 24/7, you can't just leave it and overnight and that's it. Yeah, way too much maintenance and you would have sleepless nights anyway, but with the blankets it was just absolutely perfect. We were super cozy, we were super warm, the dogs were cuddly warm, and the rest of the van was just super stone cold, like -1 we had that other day. So yeah, unfortunately that thing is not fit for this van. I have not found a way of sealing up the roof, because otherwise I would probably just take this thing out, as I would not use it. I'm just not using it, as I could see, because as I said, it needs 24/7 maintenance and watching to be able to keep it running, and it takes forever to heat up as well. Takes bloody forever. Yeah, and on windy days, luckily there was no wind in that week, but on windy days I wouldn't be able to run it. It would just stink out the van, fume the smoke in the van and not outside. So yeah, it is not useful and it probably needs to go. These are the news, and I'm coming up with a few more videos about the dogs as well, about their test results. I have not filmed those yet, I will film them soon. As well as I bought some stuff for making my own lip balm. I never done this before, and my own roll-ons. I used to do spray bottles for staying fresh and stuff, and I want to try some roll-on recipes, so I bought some ingredients for this and I'm going to do a video about that too. The doggies are waiting to be fed, so I just wanted to squeeze that video in before I switch on the heater and feed my doggies. Right. Yeah, he's always looking at me like that when I'm too late with the feed in, and goes on like, why are you not having my bowl in your hand yet? How would you say, peace out and see you in the next one.